Hey guys, welcome back to Bowhunter 24/7. Today I'm going to be going over my target bow setup that I use primarily for 3D, but I did shoot some paper scores with it this past winter. So this is my Mathews Halon X that I unboxed in the fall for you guys. Like I said, I primarily use it for 3D. I just got it set up shooting exactly how I want probably in the last month or so for some 3D tournaments, but I was using it all winter to shoot some spot scores. I shot a 5-spot 351X, which was by far my personal best, but this is also my first bow setup using a lens and the long stabilizers and everything. I was also able to 2 weeks ago get my first win with it shooting in an open class, and since I had to bump up to shooting against adults now that I'm 18 rather than in the past, I've won a lot of tournaments just shooting like junior classes and kids classes with my hunting bow. But anyways, the bow itself, not a lot has changed since that initial unboxing. I ended up going to a 28.5-inch module. The 28 was just a little too short for me. And I also went with a 75% let-off module. That's really a bigger difference than what I was anticipating going from the 75s to the 85s. But once you get used to it, I think it does make you a lot better shooter. You have to pull a little bit more into the back wall to keep it from getting jumpy on you, but like I said, once you get used to it, it definitely gives me a more consistent hold with these 75% let-off mods. The other thing I talked about in that initial review was the lack of vibration. That has not changed at all, even now that I got all the accessories on it. Everything's snugged down good. Compared to other target bows that I've shot, maybe they just had, I don't know, stuff coming loose or what, but this bow just seems to have so much less vibration than other open class setups that I've shot like this. And the other thing, it holds super well, which I used to have a Carbon Defiant 34, and that bow was super similar to this, as I mentioned in the initial video. Spec wise, this one's only an inch longer, and it is a couple ounces heavier too, obviously, but this bow just seems to hold so much better on target than that one did. So I'm really glad that I ended up going with this one for a 3D bow for that reason. Getting into some of the accessories, the rest, I ended up going with a QAD Ultra Rest HDX. I don't know, I've never had one of these fail me, so I didn't see any reason to change. I'm not running it with any of the felt or anything on the launcher. I just felt like that would be a little more consistent, and since I'm not using it for hunting, noise isn't really an issue. My stabilizers, I have a 30-inch Bee Stinger Premier Plus with 3 ounces on the front, and then I have a 15 with 7 ounces on the back. I really got that fine-tuned once I started shooting outside more, probably in the spring. And then I had it with 4 ounces on the front and 10 on the back, but the mass weight just felt a little bit heavy for me, so I ended up taking 1 off the front, 3 off the back, and I've been really happy shooting it for the last month or so like that. Those stabilizers, I mean, it's my first time shooting with the long bars, but I've been pretty happy with them. Peep Sight, I have the 1/4-inch specialty hooded peep with a #1 clarifier in it, and the reason I got the #1 clarifier because I'm shooting a 4x Doc's Choice lens. My sight setup is an Excel AccuTouch Carbon Pro with the AV41 housing, so even though it's for a target bow, I went with the hunting style housing just because primarily 3D, you're outside, gets a little more light in and everything. And also I could use it as a hunting scope if I want to at some point. But I'm running the single 10,000s blue pin with an LP light kit. One thing about the light kit that you really wouldn't notice, you don't really know what you're missing until you have one and you are able to adjust the pin brightness like that. You know, you go from certain situations on the 3D course where sometimes your pin would be super dim and you can barely even see it on the target. and other times you're in the sun and your target is in the shade, super bright pin, and you feel like you're covering up the whole 10 ring, so then you can't aim precisely. Having this LP light kit, you can really fine tune everything so that you're able to aim at that 12 ring every single time, which has definitely helped my 3D scores. Other than that, there's not a whole lot. My arrows that I'm shooting are gold tip X cutters. I got just the 90 grain glue-in tips from Gold Tip in the front. AE Max Stealth with a 3-degree right helical, and then I have Gold Tip Gto Knocks. These are the same knocks that come in the Pierce Platinums that I hunt with. Super durable. I really like them. They kind of work as a pin knock for me, but I got bushings for them that they actually go into the bushing, whereas a pin knock just kind of sits on the back. So they're a little more durable, but they're also pretty tough to replace when I have to do that at times. But definitely, if you're going to shoot a fat shaft like this, I would definitely go to a smaller knock with a bushing, because just about every single one of my arrows has big nicks in the bushing where I can tell that that's just saved me a lot of money. So that's about it for the bow and the setup. Now I'm going to take it outside and just shoot a little bit for you guys so you can kind of get a feel for how it shoots, how it holds, etc. Alright guys, so I drew up some ASA rings on my rhino block down there at 36 yards. We're going to take 3 shots at the upper 12 and see what happens. Well, my last one banged into my other 2 arrows, so hopefully they're in the right spot. Let's see. Alright. So like I said, 3 shots at the upper 12. I'd probably usually shoot center 10 in this situation in a tournament, but I like to challenge myself in practice, have a little bit of fun. So let's see what we turned up here. That last one was the one that I heard glance out, I think. The other 2 are in for sure. Good stuff.